what worked for them, what didn't work for them, what their experiences were, and they're going to go into separate components of it. So our first coach that we're going to bring out, she's a 12-star diamond coach, and she actually lives in Mars, Mars, Pennsylvania. But she joined Team Beachbody in 2011. She was a 2012 elite coach. She is been in Success Club 24 months in a row, Success Club 5 All-Star, definitely a top performer. Please bring out to the stage Miss Melanie Mitro. She's our coach.
Business activity tracker. That's what I get to talk to you guys about today. Aren't you excited? Woo! So I know you guys are just another thing to do, another tracker, another piece of paper to keep track of. But let me tell you, this really made a difference for me. When I started with the pilot program, I was not a good tracker. I'm not good at this kind of stuff. But I said, I'm going to embrace it, I'm going to give it my all, and let's just see how it goes. And so I looked at the business activity tracker like all the other things we do in our business, and I kind of applied that slight edge principle. So we could do this, or we could not do this. If we don't track it, nobody's going to know, nobody's going to care. But if we do take the time to embrace this tool and use it, it's going to push your business forward. And it's going to help your coaches recognize the most important things that they need to be doing in order for them to be successful as a new coach. So I made this a weekly requirement for my brand new coaches. They had to turn it in to me every single Thursday morning. I went based on the work week of Beachbody, so they had Wednesday till midnight, Thursday they emailed it to me. And it was great. You know, every Thursday I would get these emails from coaches. It just helped me to determine the success of my brand new coaches. So I could very easily visually see how they were doing. I had measurable tools in front of me, and it helped me to be able to provide them with guidance in the specific area that maybe there were zeros the whole way across, or that they skipped a couple of days, and I could have a great discussion with them as well. It also helped me identify leaders right off the bat. So you know the people that are turning it in are making sure they're doing their invites every day. They're adding people to their contact list, and they're signing up new coaches. They stick out to you right away. So that made the whole process a whole heck of a lot easier on me. And also, I use the business activity tracker as a way to recognize my coaches. So, especially as a brand new coach, you don't always have sales that first week in your business, right? But maybe you did add people to your contact list, and you invited people, and you did the things that you needed to be doing to be successful. And so I would take those things from that tracker, and when we did our Google Hangout, I would recognize them for those little things along the way, because they need to feel success right off the bat. And by you recognizing them for just something really small, that makes a difference. You know how important that is to give them recognition, big or small. All right, so how did I really use this? So I had coaches, so it's in a PDF, Word document, Excel document, so I would give it out to, actually the week before this started, I would give them all of these tools in our closed Facebook group. And so they had the option to print out 8 of them and put them in a binder if they were a paper and pencil type of person. Or what I did is I just kept it minimized on my screen. So when I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing I look at. It gets me focused on my day. And it's the last thing that I look at night. Did I do everything on this list today? And so that's what I taught them as well. I told them based on my own experience how I used it. And I told them that it's okay if there are zeros in some spots. There might be a day where you're busy and you don't add people to your contact list, but the next day you add double. So as long as it evens out over time, you're on the right track. And I would say, please don't just fill in a number just to fill in a number so you don't feel bad giving me something blank. Because a lot of times when it was blank, that was a good light bulb to say, they don't quite know how to invite, or they don't know what adding to the contact list means. So again, this was a great window for discussion on a one-to-one basis. So when they would email this to me on Thursday morning, I would sit down and I blocked out 2 hours of my morning where I would go through these trackers, and if they emailed it to me, I would email them back. And I would say, you had a great week, you know, you sold 2 challenge packs, or you signed up a new coach, and you did a fabulous job. And I'd say, okay, what's your focus going to be next week? What's your goal for next week? So I almost set like each week a different goal. And then I would always say, okay, what's something that you really need more clarification on as well? And so we would start that back and forth discussion, and then sometimes I'd just pick up the phone and call if I felt like we needed a little bit more. But it got me to engage with them on a one-to-one basis as opposed to just in that group setting. So it helped a lot. Also, just teaching the 3 vital behaviors, that's key. I mean, that's right on that tracker. We know that if you do those things every day, if you're a product, if you're inviting, if you're doing your personal development, that it's going to work. How many coaches get onto Facebook in the morning and they're like, I'm ready to work, and they sit down for an hour goes by and they've done nothing but scroll through people's pictures and comment and like, and at the end of an hour, their kids are knocking on the door going, it's time to go to soccer practice, and they've got nothing done. And after a week's time, they throw up their hands and they say, I'm just not successful at this. Well, this makes them remember, these are the things I need to do. I need to be inviting and adding people to my contact list every single day. And what happens is they can see a very good, clear picture over the 8 weeks how their business changed based on the things that they're doing on a daily basis. So again, it's a good visual of where you spend your time. What are they doing? And that has led to great discussions about time management. I've been able to pull things that I do to manage my own time and give them suggestions and give them tips on our Google Hangouts for how to better organize their time. And also, it determines the challenges and fears that they have for getting started. So every new coach is afraid of failure. They're afraid that they're going to be told no, that they're not going to be successful. And so I'm able to use this tracker to help them with that. So if I see that there's zeros for adding to contact lists, or there's 0 for invites, that raises a red flag, right? You know that they're not doing what they need to be doing, but maybe they're posting a lot on Facebook, but they're not getting any results. So that at that point I know, okay, I need to teach them ways to invite. I need to teach them ways to add people to their contact list. What does it look like when I invite somebody to be in a challenge group? So I've been able to create tools for them to help them overcome those fears. So it's just been a good visual for me. And then the compound effect is the book that we use. That's the tool that each new coach will be reading through the 60-day process. And I like that book because it talks about those small little things you need to do every day that make a difference. People just think that there is some magic formula for how to be a successful coach, and it's not. It's doing the same thing every single day over time, and that's what is going to create results for you. All right, so benefits to leaders. It's a good visual for you, right? You're getting good, hard feedback of what's good, what's working. What are you doing as a leader that's successful? Where could you improve? Where could you provide more knowledge and more information? Where can you add value or personal experience? I take the list, the questions, and then I add in what really, really works for me. Any teaching tools that I've made, objection videos, or how to close the sale, or how to invite people, I'll just throw that in there. And that's helped me as a leader create a better process for my team. And it just determines any gaps that there might be by interjecting your own stuff along the way. And it supports consistency. Like I said at the beginning, the whole slight edge effect. If coaches do this and they're consistent, what are they going to do? It's going to work. They're going to teach their coaches, right? And so we as leaders have to do this business tracker ourselves because we have to prove to them, okay, this is worth it. I do this. I'm your mentor. I'm your leader. Here's my tracker. Every single week, I post it in the group so that they can see what I did. And I'll call out my own mess-ups or mistakes. I didn't do enough of this, or this is going to be my focus for next week. And I tell them how I evaluate my own performance with the tracker and teach them how to use it as well, so that they can continue to teach their new coaches as well. So it helps us to be proactive instead of reactive. So instead of a coach just falling off the wagon, we can see it happening. We can see that they're struggling. We can see that they're having a hard time inviting people. We can see that they're, not doing what they need to be doing, and we can get in there before that happens. Picking up the phone and calling a coach makes all the difference in the world. I find that if I just pick up the phone and walk them through things, give them a few things to do, they've got it. And I've avoided the situation where a coach just goes missing and you don't know where they are and they drop off because they feel they're not successful. And so the size of these groups are great because there's only 9. For me, there's only 9 coaches because that's all you can fit in a Google Hangout. So it's small. and it allows us to get to know each other really, really well. And I can take the time to go through all the business activity trackers when we chat with each other each week. And, you know, as I close, I want to say that, yes, it's another piece of paper, but it has helped me tremendously actually bond with my teammates and my new coaches. I'm getting to know them, I'm getting to know their fears, I'm helping them overcome obstacles, and it's helping me as a leader create better processes and find areas where I could improve for my team as well. And that's what we want. We want our coaches to succeed. So, as much as you may frown upon another piece of paper, it is so important to use it, and I really hope that you guys embrace this and find your own way to make it uniquely yours. So, thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Fantastic. Great job. It really is such an important part. Here, I'll take that. I'm officially in charge of handing this to the next person. So I don't want to lose this. For our next person, we're going to dive into it.